would say that the first 7 years, I didn't make money because at that time I had no mentor, there was no internet, there was no courses to take. Treated it like a casino, like a online casino.
So hi, I'm Zafran from Piranha Profits. Today we're going to do an interview with Adam Khoo.
Hi, I'm Adam Khoo, and I'm a full-time investor as well as a stock and options trader, and I'm the founder of the Piranha Profits online financial training school.
So Adam, can you share with us a bit about your background? What led you to start investing in trading?
So I started at 17 years old, and I guess what got me interested was my grandfather. Because when I was very young, my grandfather, during Chinese New Year, he would give all the grandchildren this red packet, and it's not just cash, he gave us share certificates of the companies he owned. And he used to tell us at a young age that if I give you cash, like most people, you're paid only once. But when I give you shares of a company, you own a piece of a business. You own a money-making machine that's going to pay you for the rest of your life. So that actually got me very interested, like, wow, I can own a money-making machine. So ever since then, I started working part-time during school holidays at the age of 15 years old. So I saved up a lot at 15, 16, 17, and almost everything I saved, I started to invest in the markets at 17 years old.
So after you started trading and investing at a young age, what was your first money-making machine?
I would say that the first 7 years, I didn't make money because I made all the stupid mistakes that most people make. Because at that time, I had no mentor, there was no internet, there was no courses to take. So I just treated it like a casino, like a online casino. So whatever money I made, I lost, I made, I lost, I made, I lost. And so I went in circles for at least the first 7 years. But I didn't give up. I kept asking questions, I kept reading a lot, I kept learning about how businesses operate, how the market works, and I've traded everything. I trade Forex, futures, CFDs, everything, investing, all kinds of styles. And it's after probably about 7+ years that I really understood how to make money consistently through both investing in stocks and trading stocks and options. And that's how I then started making money. And then I compounded my investment account to where it is today.
So your main bread and butter is investing.
Oh, yeah. So
What is options to you?
So investing is where I buy great companies and they just compound in value, but I trade options almost every day to create additional income to my portfolio. So the way I trade options is, unlike most people that buy options, I don't buy options, I sell options. I focus on selling put options, which is similar to selling insurance contracts on stocks. So I'm like an insurance company. I sell insurance and I collect premiums regularly, but I sell insurance on very, very safe companies when they're undervalued. So to me, it's like almost sure win strategy.
So it's very important to just sell options, guys. If you buy options, what will happen to you?
Well, you can make money buying options, but when you buy an option, it's like holding an ice cube. It keeps melting, right? Because options are a decaying asset. It loses value all the time. And so buying an option is kind of like buying a lottery ticket. That once in a while, if the stock goes up very fast, you can make a lot of money. But more often than not, it doesn't happen. More often than not, you buy a call option, for example, the stock goes up a bit and then drops, or goes sideways, or goes down, and you end up losing money. So buying call options, like I said, once in a while you make money, but long term is very hard to make money. So what I do is the opposite. I sell options. But of course, you must know how to sell it. If you don't know how to sell options, like you sell naked, which is what we teach in the course, then it's very risky. If you sell options naked, it's very risky, you can lose a lot of money. But if you sell options in a way that's hedged, which is what I do, selling covered calls and cash secured puts and credit spreads, which sound quite complicated, but it's actually very simple once you learn it, then it's a very consistent way of generating income, but one that, to me, is not that risky.
So as far as most of us know, you learned options from the great options master, Pham. Can you tell us how you met and how you started?
Well, actually, I learned options over 20 years ago, long before I met Bang. But I would say that when I first learned it, like most people, I traded it the wrong way, where I started buying options, buying call options when I thought the stock was going to go up, buying put options when I thought the stock was going to go down. Because that's how most people teach options. And that's why for the first many years when I was trading options, again, I went in circles, right? I made money, I lost money. So it was not consistent. But it was many years later when I got to know Bang. And by the way, Bang, I got to know him because he attended my investing course, which was the Wealth Academy Investing Masterclass. So he attended my investing course about 13, 14 years ago. So he learned investing from me, and by learning investing, it made him a better options trader because he learned how to trade options only on good companies. But at the same time, I also learned from him that the way I was trading options was not the best way. That he said to me, Adam, you should focus more on selling options than buying options. So he kind of like changed my view of how to trade options. And so when I started to trade more of the selling style, that's how I made very consistent profits year after year. Not just in bull markets, but bear markets as well. So for example, in the last 12 months alone, I've made over $250,000 US just on options trading.
Okay, so what motivated you to start Piranha Profits? How did the idea come about?
All right, so I first started teaching investing through the Wealth Academy Masterclass in 2005. So that's about 19 years ago. And I've been teaching investing again ever since then, every single year. But at the time, it was face-to-face, and I could only teach in the region. So I teach in Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, in classes of about a few hundred people. So that went on from 2005 to 2016. So in 2016, I said, because I started to see people flying all the way from Japan to Singapore to attend my course. People all the way from Europe, people from the US, just to attend my course. And I thought, wow, that means there are people in these countries that I can teach to as well. But not many people can afford to fly all the way to Singapore, pay for hotel, and spend a week here.
Yeah.
So that gave me the idea of, how can I teach people from all around the world? Now, I don't have the time to travel to Europe, Japan, and the US to teach. So that's when I got the idea to put my lessons online. So that was 2016, when I first started creating courses and putting them online. So that's how Piranha Profits was born, right? And then when COVID hit in 2020, then everyone got into the habit of learning online. And that's why today, I only teach online. And it's a blessing in disguise because number one, I can now teach people from all around the world. They can learn from the comfort of their home without traveling to Singapore. Because everything's online, the community is very close, where they can ask me questions 7 days a week, almost 18 hours a day, because we're all on the Discord chat group. Whereas in the old days, before the internet came about, we could only meet once a month when we physically met and they asked questions. But now they can ask questions 16, 17 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm online with them.
From 30 years of investing and trading, right, has your perspective on wealth building and financial freedom changed over the years?
I guess, my style has definitely evolved over the years. So in my early years, of course, I was more short-term trading in nature, where I would go in, go out, go in, go out, go in, and go out. That was more my style at the time. But now, after being in the markets for so many years, I would say I spend a lot less time, but get a lot more profits because you learn how to do it more efficiently, right? And I focus now a lot more on investing in good companies and just let them compound. And a lot of the option trades I take are non-directional. So that means that I don't need the stock to go up to make money. Even if the stock goes sideways or even goes down a bit, I make a lot of money because of the option selling. So the style has changed a lot.
So about the option selling, will you be teaching us that during Black Market?
Yeah, so during the Black Market online event, during my webinar, I have a few webinars. And during my second webinar, I'll be talking about how I trade options every day and how I trade what we call cash secured puts and credit spreads that allows me to generate profits without the stock price having to go up. So if you want to catch my webinar on options trading, do click on the button to get your free ticket to the Black Market Live online event. And be sure to check the schedule of when I'm doing my webinar for options trading. I'll also be doing a webinar, of course, on value momentum investing, how I identify the top 1% of companies in the markets. And I'll share exactly what to buy, when to buy, how many shares to buy, and when to sell, which is the 4 keys to successful investing. So do catch my investing webinar as well during the Black Market Live online event.